Okay, hi and welcome to this video, which is all about the submission, completion and review of our hard copy assessments. So at this stage, we've done our quizzes and we're now moving on to the hard copy assessments, which require a little bit more time, a little bit more effort and a little bit more detail in terms of the information that you provide. So examples of this is you might have a case study and you'll have to develop a health and fitness program for that case study, or you might do a nutritional recall on some of your friends and family, something like that. The way it works is that you'll complete these assessments in Word documents, and then you'll save those Word documents on your computer and upload them onto the system, and I'll show you how to do that. Once they're uploaded, then our online assessment team will get notified and then pick up your assessment, assess it based on a set of criteria, and then once that's assessed, they'll leave you some feedback and then notify you of that submission. You'll then go back in, view the feedback. If it's competent, which is excellent, green light, you can move on to the next assessment, or it might be not yet competent, which means that you'll have a list of feedback and things to fix up. You'll go back in, fix it up, resubmit it, going the same process as you followed to submit it initially, and then it'll be assessed again and the process will continue. So let's get straight into it. I'll show you how to do that. We're going to go down to topic 8, which I believe is flexibility. So this one's about flexibility, warm-ups and cool-downs. We're going to go in and have a look at assessment 8.1. So we've watched the lecture, we've read the course material, we're ready to have a look at the instructions for 8.1. Click on that and that will open up in a new window and it'll give us the instructions of what we have to do. So we need to download that document from topic 8, and then once we've finished, we then come down here and we upload the file. So we need to download it, we need to put our information in that file, we then save that file on our computer, and then we upload it right here. But first we need to go back and get that file. So back to the main page, down to topic 8, here it is, 8.1 assessment documents. Click on that, it'll ask you to open or save. Easiest way is to open. And then there it is. Come in and you can get started. And the date. And here it is. This gives you the information about your task. So this tells you the units of competency that are being assessed throughout this assessment. And they're basically the little subjects that make up your Cert 3 or 4 in fitness. Then you've got your tasks that you need to complete. Make sure you read those carefully and cover every task that's in there. It's no good just doing 1 or 2 of those. Every task has to be completed. You might have a table or you might have a program card that you can then enter your information in, or you might have to write an essay or some short answer responses to questions, or you might have to do some step-by-step processes. Make sure you clarify that with the task. Finally, the last page is going to be your assessment criteria, and this is telling you what you're being assessed against. So it's a good idea is to, once you've finished, or even before you've started, read this criteria and make sure you address everything that's listed in this criteria. It's no good doing your whole assessment and then it being based on what you think is correct, and then you find out that you haven't addressed any of this. Your assessor will just send it straight back, all not yet competent, and then they'll ask you to refer to this section and address those various criteria. So make sure you've got things like anatomical terminology when instructing your client, knowledge of lever systems and resistance equipment. You might not necessarily be able to write this out, but by writing something like a hamstring stretch and giving the instructions on how to perform that stretch, that also demonstrates your knowledge of that particular aspect of assessment criteria. So once you've finished, so let's say we've written stuff in these programs, we're happy with it, we then save as 8.1 flexibility, and then enter your name in there as well, Joe Brown. Note where you've saved it, so I've saved it on my desktop, and then we go back to our main screen. Back on the home page, we click on our instructions and submission. So we've downloaded it, we've completed it, we've downloaded it, completed it, saved the changes, and now we're ready to upload the file. So we come down here, we browse, go to our desktop, and there it is, Joe Brown, and we click upload. Depending on how big the file is, it'll either upload really quickly or it might take a little bit longer. It's also dependent on your internet speed as well. Now it's there. Don't make the mistake of just closing down everything now, because it's just sitting in cyberspace. It's actually not assigned anywhere. You need to then scroll down and click send for marking. Once you click this, you won't be able to edit it. You won't be able to touch the file again until it's been marked. So if you send for marking, it'll ask you, do you want to continue? Yep. Take a little bit of time to upload that assessment, but once it's uploaded, you'll get notification that it was successful, it's been submitted for assessment, and the assessor is then going to be able to pick that up, assess it, give you feedback, and then give you a grade as well. So there it is, that's been submitted. I'll give you an example of what it looks like when it comes back. So we've waited a couple of days and we've been notified. And this was for nutrition. So we submitted our nutrition assessment a couple of days ago, and it's just been recalled, and we checked in our results, and it's been graded competent. So we come back into our instructions and we find that there's some submission feedback. Lauren's come in and said, well done, that was excellent, and graded it competent, and there's the file. So if there's any comments that the assessor has left within the document, and in most cases the assessors will use these track changes in Word, which are little comments for each section of the assessment, then you'll be able to download that, read the feedback, and then continue on. If this was a not yet competent grade, then what might happen is I'll need to open this document, follow the feedback, and then resubmit it. How would I resubmit it? I'd simply go back to here, browse, upload my file, as we did before for our initial submission. Once that's been uploaded, it'll be there, 8.1, and then we will go send for marking again. If you don't click send for marking, the assessor can't possibly get feedback back to you or even assess it. It's just sitting there in blank space. So a number of learners send through their questions saying, I haven't had my assessment marked for a couple of months, what's going on? 9 times out of 10, this is the case. You haven't clicked submit for marking. There it is, couple of days, the assessor will get to that, give you feedback, and because it's your second attempt, there's a good chance that if you follow the feedback, you make the necessary changes, it will be deemed competent and you'll be able to move on to the next assessment. So that's our hard copy assessment process. If you've got any questions, you're having trouble uploading, file types, anything like that, make sure you send student support a message. Just keep in mind though that we do operate off Microsoft Office-based applications, so Word documents are the most acceptable format. So Word 2003 or the latest version of Word 2007 or 2010, they're acceptable. Anything outside of that, upload it. The assessor might come back and say that they're having trouble opening it. If that's the case, then it might just be a matter of using a friend's computer or using another family member's computer, putting it in the correct file type, and then submitting it. But like I said, if you have any questions or queries about that, don't hesitate just to go straight here, send me a message, and I'll help you as best I can. Hope that was good. We'll talk soon.